Hello, everyone, and welcome again to the Next Level Podcast. I'm Carm, and my words of wisdom for today is that winning is a mentality. Joined today, as always, by my lovely and talented co-host Claire XI. How are we doing today?
So far, so good. It's been an interesting week. We've done a lot of new things this week in regards to not only our podcast but also our Twitch streams as well too.
Yeah, it's been a really fun week, honestly. Kind of a big shout out that I want to put is to everybody that came out to the community night and kind of just really stepped in and had a lot of fun with it. It wasn't like one of those things where we went in and really, not everybody knew what they were doing, but they were listening, they were having fun, they were involved, and they wanted to learn about the content. It wasn't one of those moments where you have 18 people and you have 12 people kind of standing around and six people actually doing the content, and that's just what's going on. No, it was everybody wanted to participate, everybody wanted to learn. We could explain what was going on, and people actually were asking questions and being involved. And it was a really fun experience to just experience that level of interest in the game on a level where people actually cared instead of just, hey, let me get some gear and get the heck out of here.
Yeah, it was actually really nice because I think everybody did participate in that community day, and there wasn't really anybody that we did have to, I'm doing air quotes, like hard carry anybody. Like everybody pulled their own weight. I mean, we even had like good party setups too. It was actually really interesting to see because we told everybody to just come on whatever job they wanted cards on. Like we didn't even tell people what jobs to come out as, and it ended up just working out with what we were doing.
Yeah, I mean, when you have people that are actually trying to be involved and actually are trying to play the game as it's supposed to be played, you can make things happen with ragtag groups instead of having the whole natural, everybody has to have a bard, everybody has to have a white mage, everybody has to have 3DDs, everybody has to have this. You just make it work and you have fun with what you're doing. And granted, we were just doing omens, so it wasn't like challenging content by any means, but at the same time, it just flowed very well and people really made the best of the situation.
Yeah, and even made you and I talk to each other afterwards and decide that this coming Wednesday we're going to be doing another community day, and it's going to be in regards to getting people Aonics. So it'll be interesting how that will translate over, if we'll have the same success that we had last Wednesday with this one coming up.
Yeah, and it was really encouraging and honestly rare anymore to hear everybody kind of like chime in and say, hey, what do we need to farm? What pops can we get? What can we do to kind of help out the pop set? And it was just like a good feeling because you're getting into this community that wants to help each other. We have people that are going out and doing UNMs for each other without like a link shell leader putting everything together. So it's been a really good and encouraging time to see the community actually get together just under one link pearl and really start helping each other out and be excited to do things with each other. So, and it hasn't had to be like a link shell sanctioned event or anything. It's been, hey, I typed in link shell chat, I wanted to do this. And all of a sudden people were rearing and ready to go.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited about that. And I hope we end up getting even more people in the link shell that are willing to help each other out that don't necessarily need the guidance of a link shell leader, that they can just ask for help in the link shell and they can see the community wanting to help out, or they can reciprocate it and see somebody in the link shell that needs help and then they can go help them as well.
Yeah, it kind of goes with the whole mentality of what we're trying to do with the podcast, what we're trying to do with the link shell of it doesn't have to be the best in slot, the best run ever, the most ideal things. It's just getting together, learning what you can do, learning about your jobs, and just enjoying the game. Taking the game to the next level doesn't have to be all of a sudden I'm the best player in the freaking world and nothing can stop me and I can just stomp content. It's taking your experience to the next level. It's taking the enjoyment, the fun of what you're doing. I mean, heck, I blew up because we missed a mechanic, and it wasn't even like, oh, well, crap happens, because we were just having fun. We were enjoying the group of people we were with. It was almost seamless, like, oh, somebody went down, who cares? There's somebody else ready to pick it up. So it was just a fun thing where even if it wasn't the perfect run or the perfect event or the perfect ideal situation where the best in slot things were happening, there was my air quotes for anybody listening at home, but it didn't have to be perfect because it was fun on its own and the experience was there. And it was just all in all a really enjoyable thing. And that's kind of what we've been getting into with these 20th anniversary things, with all the stuff we've been talking about on the podcast, is just getting involved with people. It doesn't matter what you're doing as long as you're doing something that is enjoyable in the game.
Yeah, even with working on the YouTube channel with making those shorts for people, we've actually got a lot of really good responses in regards to those videos as well. And even comments on the ambuscade videos as well too, where people are like, "Hey, you know what? I really liked your video, but you missed some of these mechanics." And it's like, "Oh, thanks for pointing those out," because then anybody else that watches it and reads the comments can also see those mechanics that we missed in there as well.
Yeah, by no means do we ever claim to be the know it all 100% people of this game that can look at any content and know every single strategy and every idea of what could possibly go into it. We know what works for us and we enjoy talking about it. And that's what everything is about here. This isn't 100% the quest for knowledge of we can explain every single thing that happens in this game. We're here to have fun and here to share the fun that we have with the community and stuff like that. So with these videos and everything else that we're putting out, we don't turn away constructive criticism or turn away, hey, there could be something that we miss and something else that somebody might help someone else. So please feel free to comment, feel free to ask questions. Maybe there's something we didn't understand the same way that you understood it.
For sure. We definitely do look at all the comments that we get on the YouTube channel, and as well as in the Discord. We try to help out anybody that's asking questions in there as well too. And if we don't know it, we'll be able to find the source, whether it's through BGWiki or old Wikipedia, and be able to provide that information to who's asking the question, being like, "Hey, this looks like what you're looking for. Here's the potential answer." And if they say, "Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Thanks for the source," or if they're like, "Oh no, I was," and then they go into more detail what they were looking for, then it helps narrow it down a little bit more. We're all willing to try to help people, whether it's other people in the Discord or Carmen myself.
Yeah, and even if you're not on Asura, because we are Asura based, what we do, a lot of our stuff is Asura based. But even if you're not, we still have other channels in the Discord. Obviously, YouTube is a pretty open network. There's all kinds of different things and resources where you can help yourself or you can get the answers that you're looking for. So feel free to reach out and enhance your game, enhance the way that you play, because you're available and you're getting more knowledge. And that's what this game really is. I mean, I was looking over my Paladin Lua today because you asked for it, and I'm like, this is just a really in-depth, fun game. There's so much going on, and the level of understanding that I have over my Paladin Lua and over the way to play Paladin and the way to apply it to each different event is like it's changed so much over the years, and it's still constantly changing. I mean, I even told you when I sent it, I was like, I should probably look at a couple of my midcasts and see if I have pieces that are just in there for DT that I could add more magic evasion or stuff like that. Make sure that I'm really optimizing everything I do. So it really is just a lot going on and a lot to do with this game. So get in there, get involved, find people to do things with. The game's a lot of fun when you actually play it that way.
Yeah, and we also do stream on Twitch. We're hoping to stream more often so that way we can get affiliate, because we have been working on some really fun emotes for that. So you'll be seeing us stream more on twitch.tv/nextlevelpc. That's all one word. And we love talking to people in the community. like Carm was saying, regardless if you're on the Asura server where you can see us and you can wave, you can come talk in our live chat and just talk to us about the game. I mean, we've met a lot of people during the Twitch streams and just interacting with them and having fun conversations. And even just talking to them about like what they're doing in the game or things that we have planned for the podcast or what we're thinking of doing. Like, we really are open to what we're doing with this podcast and everything with the community.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking pretty much any recommendations we get for episodes is what we want to strive to do. So if there's something that you've seen in the game that you think could help other people or you think is just an interesting topic of conversation, throw it our way. We're happy to look into it. We're happy to do episodes on just different things. It doesn't have to be Odyssey and what's going on in V20 and what we think about V25 coming up, because we are doing that content. That is part of the stuff that we do, but not everybody is at that content. Not everybody really is really there at that point, as well as there's a lot of people talking about it. That's really the big thing that is happening. So we also want to highlight those other events and the other fun things about this game that really have this different feel and the different level of fun that you can just sit back and enjoy with other players.
Yeah, and we've noticed with the 20th anniversary that just happened back in May, we've had a huge influx of either new or returning players that, like Carm was saying, aren't quite at Odyssey level. And they have more questions about where they need to go, what they should be working on, or like content that, Carm and I might have done to death and no longer needs stuff from, but these people are just now getting into it and they really want to know and understand what this older content is or newer content that's slowly phasing out for those veteran players that have played for a long time.
And that's the encouraging part is the people that are attracting and they are coming around to our group and our community and things like that are people that actually want to learn the game and they want to be able to do this content themselves. They want to be able to get to this point where they understand what they're doing. They don't want to just sit back, and I know I've pounded that into the ground so far in this episode, but it's just really encouraging to see people that don't want to buy the content, that don't want to sit back and watch somebody else do it and get to the end game. They want to actually enjoy the game because it's the way it's supposed to be played.
Well said, Carm. Well said. I really enjoyed that.
Heck yeah. But the point of today, woohoo! Well, not always the point, but the fun topic of today is the June update anticipation that we're going in. And I don't know how many times I can say this. It's probably gotten so annoying for everyone, but it still blows my mind that we're still getting these new updates every month and there's new things going on. They're updating ambuscades that we've already done. People were already looking at the ambuscade that's about to come back with the Caturbs of, oh, well, our gear's already gone so much further, la-di-da-di-da. So we may not even have to worry about mewing, or we may not even have to worry about TP because a paladin might be able to hold it, or you never know what could happen. Like, these things are changing constantly as far as what different things they've added into the mechanics of the ambuscade. So it could be different. I love the in-depth mechanic on the Caturbs just because I love playing Ninja and sitting there and being able to just be on the brink of death constantly. This is one of my favorite ambuscades, so I'm really excited for this one.
Yeah, I remember when this one first came out and people trying to figure out the timing with the kiting of Caturbs. I remember when I streamed a lot on FFXI that I have a video specifically on just kiting the Caturbs back in the day, because when you get to the bigger area of Ambuscade, they make this weird like dip in their pathing, so they take slightly longer, but if you don't wait for them to like slightly catch up to you, then they'll cut through one of the pillars and then hit you or do a TP move, and that ended up killing your kiter, and then everybody else would get smashed after that would happen. And then last time it came out, people started doing the paladin sub summoner and doing the mewing strategy, which was kind of an interesting thing that was going on, but it was like you had to have a high tier paladin in order to do that because it was so specific on your mewing timers had to be a certain way, or you had to make sure you didn't take so much damage because if all of the TP moves still ended up going off, you had to be able to survive it. I know SE in their patch notes did indicate that they are making some adjustments to the Caturbs. They said that it's supposed to give, quote, fewer headaches than the last go around. So I'm wondering what exactly they're doing. They may be lessening some of the mechanics in regards to when you have low HP, you take so much damage, or you're more susceptible to end death, or just the little Caturbs attacks don't do as much when you're at higher HP.
To me, I read that it's with it saying just be careful that your HP doesn't stay too low for too long. I think that is a hate mechanic, honestly. Just with Caturbs being blood aggro and things like that, it makes me wonder if your HP stays too long, if they just don't start fixating or something. I don't know. I've always been interested in how Ambuscade hate really works because it's such a different area and a different. I don't know. It's always been interesting to me that Ambuscade works so differently than everything else. So I'm excited to see how that works and what happens. And it's just changes. It's new things. And we're talking again about a 20-year-old game that's still exciting and still throwing out new changes. And I just couldn't be happier with it.
Yeah, I'm excited because hopefully we'll have enough time this round in order to make different videos showing different strats. Because if you're like, say, we do the paladin sub summoner strat, and just we realize that it is hard on a paladin that doesn't quite have as top tier gear, maybe we can show the kiting method again and how people can do that to subsequent being able to not have to worry about like face tanking these extra mobs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or you never know. Sometimes they come up with new strats and we start reading the forums and there's new strategies coming out there that we didn't think of before. So it's always interesting to see what new things are coming out for ambuscades that are being redone.
Well, yeah, with the gear creep and master levels and everything else that's been happening, Ambuscade it needed to be just buffed up a little because when you start getting these Odyssey pieces and you start getting master levels and you start getting all the augments into the Odyssey pieces, like you're really going way past what was intended for these original Ambuscade fights. So there's going to be new things seen. There's going to be new things that happen. So it's exciting just to see people try different things. And I mean, either make it faster, make it easier, whatever they want to do just to make it work for them.
Yeah, most definitely. But in other news, with the new missions in Voracious Resurgence, they're going to be adding new records of eminence objectives in the next coming months within July. So it may have to tie in with the new Empyrean +2 and accessories that are coming out.
Yeah, I wondered about that. I might have to actually take some time and catch that up as much as I despise doing missions.
I need to finish it too. Mur and I were working on it for a while, but took a break to work on other things and getting sidetracked with real life stuff. So we need to go back into finishing that. They did mention that this update will end chapter 8. So they will be coming out with chapter 9 in July.
Ooh, good lord. So many missions, so little time.
At least we gave you one of the more annoying items to get in the mission so far that we've
That's
noticed.
true. That's true, and I appreciate it. People helping people. That's what it's about.
Hmm. And then another thing, like
New
you had mentioned,
synergy recipes.
yeah, they're coming up with new synergy recipes. So I think with the next login campaign, also a reminder the current login campaign, you have until the 9th to pick anything up. And I say the 9th, it's really the 9th at 7 a.m. So I would say pick things up by June 8th. So that way, if there's any specific items you need or trusts, or if you want to get mounts, I picked those up before June 8th. They haven't announced the next login campaign, but with them saying that there's going to be a new synergy recipe makes me think that they're coming out with a new item in the login campaign that can be synergized together. But that's my
It'd be
opinion.
interesting. I'd like to see them do more with synergy. I feel like it has a couple niche uses, and then it's kind of like, okay.
That's
But
true.
I think it's a cool idea, synergy. But it's like we said, it's just another thing that you can do, and another way to play the game, and another just side event that you can be a part of, and there's just so much going on.
All the things. I mean, they're even
All the things.
increasing master levels in this next update. So master levels will be going to level 40. I'm already dreading how many exemplar points are going to be needed to get to level 40 because I still need to get some to 30. I've been really delaying on doing that. Maybe I'll stream doing some more exemplar parties and just talking to you guys about it while it's happening.
Yeah, master levels is definitely something I've been slacking on as far as that goes. So guilty as charged on that one.
Me too. We both got to work on it, but you're closer to getting 1 to 30 than I am. I keep bouncing between jobs, so that doesn't help too much.
Yeah, staying on Paladin has been nice, but we should be there by now. But real life happens, as we've said. So I mean, don't stress about it. The game isn't going anywhere. There's no need to rush. Just enjoy the way you're playing.
For sure, for sure. And then I don't know if you guys took a look at the AMA on Reddit that Square Enix did, where they answered a whole bunch of questions from people. One of the questions was if they were going to fix Miru and Spikeflail. Well, in this patch note, they actually did say they are changing Spikeflail in Domain Invasion specifically. What they're going to be doing, we don't know, but they did put in there that it was to make it to where everybody could enjoy the content, especially on a specific server. For those that don't know, there was a huge uproar on the Asura server in regards to Miru and Spikeflail happening. So this is probably their way of trying to fix it, so that way people don't have to worry about that mechanic.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you can just wear DT gear and not worry about spike flail. But at the same time, domain invasion is also one of those things that newer players need to be a part of and need to be involved in. So yeah, I see both sides of this. I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is. I don't want to sit here and dwell on this because the community has spent enough time talking about Mirio and Spike Flailing, and if you really want to see all the nonsense about that, there's tons of Reddit posts and threads and all that talking about people spamming the Spike Flail and mass player killing and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's just another mechanic. They're removing it to make the outrage criers not outrage crying, I guess. So I'm down for it. It makes people enjoy the game more. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I can understand from a newer player point of view trying to go into a domain invasion so that way you can actually pick up items with domain points. Just even zoning in the moment you pass that threshold that says you are now entered domain invasion, just dying on the outskirts and just being really frustrated to not be able to get really any points, or people that are trying to build up their beads and aeonics and just having to try to fight this thing and then it just getting reset.
And a lot of it is just the time and stuff like that, because you want your time to be the highest investment possible. So you get to the point where if you don't kill Miryu, you have to do like 5 dragons now instead of just the one or something. And it's like, oh gosh. So if you're not building beads and you don't need beads anymore, and all of a sudden you have to do 5 dragons to get your domain invasion points. But at the same time, if you are just using domain invasion points for making money, then it really that big of a deal anyway, but it is what it is. Like I said, I don't want to sit here and dwell on the domain invasion drama of Asura, but it's happening, so here we are.
Yeah, most definitely. It's kind of a bummer, but it'll pass and we'll get all through it. One of the other patch notes that I thought was interesting, and I was trying really hard to think of where this was happening, but they said they're removing level difference penalties in certain areas. I'm not exactly sure where those level difference penalties are coming into play. So it'll be interesting once the full notes come out where they talk about that happening.
Yeah, just or adding in new areas. I'm sure it probably has something to do with master level increasing and raising more exemplar point party camp areas. But at the same time, it's interesting to see them going to what must be older areas and able to really bring new life to those areas and bring new, I guess, nostalgic moments, really. Because you think about some of the areas in the game, a lot of the areas are like, wow, I haven't been there in forever. I have no reason to go there. Like some of the old COP areas and stuff like that.
Yeah, so it'll be most definitely interesting when that update comes out if they do add in new mobs for exemplar point parties or if there's just this new thing that they're doing with these areas.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what they do. I think everything they've done thus far has really just been to enhance player just the quality of life that the players have and all the different things that they're doing are meant to help every level of player. It's not just the people who have done everything are getting new things. It's the people that are joining the game. I mean, you've got all the different campaigns going on. You've got the seal and crest drop rates going up. You've got, I mean, the delve campaign, and we'll dive into more of this stuff here in a bit when we get into all the campaigns that are coming. But they're just doing so many different things to help every level of player, and even those players that have all the V20 or the V20 clears or all the rank 25 gear and stuff like that. They're still adding new things for them because the master levels are going up. It's giving them different ways to look at things. It's giving all these different avenues to and situations to see different things within the game. So I think my hat's off to Square on how much they're doing still on this game.
Yeah, and you were bringing up those campaigns. We have the Summer Solstice special campaign that starts on June 11th, so it'll start on the Saturday after the updates already happened. One of the ones that you mentioned was the increased seal and crest drops. So people that are wanting to do the additional seal battlefield, they'll be able to get additional spoils in certain ones as well too, which could include like the coupon ice seals that I know you and I have mentioned in multiple episodes how useful those coupon eye seals are.
Oh, they're so good. One of our next topics is Abyssia and different ways of farming and different ways of going about things in Abyssia. And I mean, even Funk last episode was talking about how all the different titles and all the different things that there are in Abyssia and the eye seals really make that transition in that mode from going to the Empyrean armor and actually getting it to eye level so much easier. So it definitely take advantage of this one. The coupon eye seal campaign is huge. If you haven't gotten involved in that and you don't have enough eye seals, I recommend just getting a boatload.
For those that don't know what the coupon ISILs actually do is you can take a coupon ICL. So let's say you have one coupon ICL. You can take it to any of the dealer Moogles within any of the three starting nations and pick one Empyrean armor piece. So let's say you pick warrior headpiece. It'll give you 8 warrior seal heads. So that way you can take a normal quality Empyrean armor and put it to +1. Now that's not reforged +1, that's just standard +1, but that does allow you to reforge it to 109 and you can skip the +2 process altogether in regards to having to go up that extra step. Once you get it +1, you can reforge that piece. Or say you give the dealer Moogle a coupon ice seal and ask for warrior body for Empyrean seals. It will give you all 10 seals. So it's basically enough seals to upgrade that piece to +1 without having to farm any NMs. So it saves you a lot of time, not having to worry about proc systems, not having to worry about either going after a timed NM or a spawnable NM and getting those spawn items. You can just literally trade these in to the dealer Moogle and he will give you the exact amount.
Yeah, and with +2, +3 Empyrean coming, I would definitely take this time to make sure that you have all the Empyrean that you want for all the jobs you play, just because we don't know what this +2, +3 is going to do. It could be holy crap game breaking, it could be more macro pieces, but at the same time, it's still just more equipment that we're going to have at our disposal that even if it's just macro pieces, it's going to be leveled up. So it's going to make your gear swaps and your midcast that I was just talking about with my paladin even smoother and even cleaner to do, and you're going to have more stats on these midcasts and in these gear swaps. So it's definitely something that I would be involved in.
Yeah, we also were talking about making a YouTube short in regards to the trading system for the Empyrean feet, because I know how much people love farming Empyrean feet, gold boxes. So much fun, but there is a way that you can do a 3-to-1 conversion. So if you get 3 Empyrean feet that you don't want, you can trade them in for one piece that you do want. So definitely I tell people, if you get Empyrean feet, throw them in storage slip 8 on the Porter Moogle, and if you level up a job and you're like, hey, I now all of a sudden need this feat, and you check your slip and you don't have them, you can at least take 3 that you're not using or already have upgraded essentially and trade them to get that one for that new job you leveled.
So at least you want to go farm some feed after this?
I mean, I was farming feet for a while. I was farming buckets so much that I was letting the link shell know every time we got a new Empyrean feat. I was like, who needs ninja? Who needs summoner? Who needs blue mage? And I'm like, even if you don't need these, come get them because you could do the 3-to-1 conversion. But yeah, it'll definitely be something people will want to look into with them talking about the +2, +3 upgrades coming out soon.
Yeah, there's a couple Empyrean feet that I actually want to get before this stuff happens and do some things. So even I have some things that I need to be working on. And I've played this game for God knows how long.
Yeah, but you hated the Abyssia era while
I did.
well, I actually enjoyed it, but so we definitely have 2 different opinions on that whole time of space that happened.
Yeah.
Which is okay. We can have different opinions.
I don't I don't mind the red procs. The red procs are nice. I like the red procking system, but the other stuff is just oh
Oh, it's not that
gosh.
bad. It's okay.
Oh, it's that bad.
But back on the topic of the campaigns, we also have the Delve campaign, which is really nice if you want to build up Plasm, not only for your Uragon weapons, so that would be for Idris or Epilary, but you could also use that Plasm to buy any of the Delve boss items. So that way, if you need a Watsa crest to spawn a mob in Esha Ruan, you can just pay Plasm to get it. Or if you need a root from the tree, you can just go buy it and use it for upgrades.
Plasm equals money.
Yes.
I mean, for anybody that wants an easy way to get their gill under control and is leveling up their gear and stuff like that, this is a great way to save money. All of the delve items are part of the leveling up for artifact and relic gear. So get these things, get involved with this. This is a cool campaign to really be able to make some money and save yourself a lot of money.
It's for Relic and Empyreans, by the way. um, but yes, like Carm was saying, you can also use it if you see people are buying a certain material, you can also just buy it and sell those to try to make gil in order to purchase other things that you need in order to upgrade your character as well too.
Yeah, I just call it all JSE the same dang thing.
It's okay.
It's all just a bunch of JSE nonsense.
The next campaign we have is the Search Walker campaign. So, what this one means in particular is if you go into the Walk of Echoes zone, you'll see the different complexes that could take you to little mini battles, and there's different equipment that you can get from these battles. When those areas are, quote, surging, so you'll see like a distant howl can be heard from this certain complex. That means that one is surging, so it's got higher level monsters to fight, but that means that you have a higher level or a higher chance of getting HQ items. So if anybody doesn't have the pixie hairpin +1 for their lead and salutes, I believe that one's Conflux 10 that you can go to and you fight 4 chimeras, and you have a higher chance of getting that pixie hairpin +1.
Isn't the quadruple attack built in there as well?
Yes, that one's
The
in
wind
there.
buffet +1?
Yep. And also the enchanting earring +1 is also from Walk of Echoes too.
Hmm.
Yeah, so there's quite a bit of items that are still used today from Walk of Echoes. So if you go onto BG Wiki and you just look through Walk of Echo rewards, you'll be able to see all the different items and definitely see if there's anything that can be used that you want from this campaign, because it is definitely a lot easier to get.
And it's like open world, basically, instances, so multiple people can join, isn't that the way it still works?
Yep, and everybody can summon their own trusts too. So they can either team up or they can separate their parties and just go individually and just summon a full trust of parties.
Urge Walk. Woohoo!
Hmm. The next one we have is a very common one that we see come up a lot. It's the voidwatch campaign. So what that means is you don't have to worry about the procking system in voidwatch. All lights are capped during this campaign. So you typically see a lot of people farming heavy metal plates during this time, or rift cinders, or um, rift boulders. Not rift boulders. I forgot the other one. But the items used to upgrade Empyrean weapons to their final forms. You'll see a lot
Hmm.
of people at ALO just spamming that one. There's also Quellen inside Sky, and then you also have the Belladonna and the Whale Bismarck. And I don't remember the Belladonna's name, but those ones usually get attacked a lot too. So you'll see those coming up. It's definitely a nice way to get your heavy metal plates. I do recommend people build up to those NMs. So if you haven't done your Void Watch pass, it's really nice to do it during the campaign because you don't have to worry about the procking system in order to get the key item that allows you to move forward. You can just pop it, drop it, and move to the next one. It's really nice during that campaign as well too. And it is required to be at a certain level as well too, if you want to have the ability to unlock Empyrean weapon skills through the trial of Magian Moogle without actually making an Empyrean weapon. So you would have to be so far in Voidwatch. So definitely something to think about during that campaign as well too.
I like it. Pop it and drop it.
Hop and
Boom.
drop. Yep. It's very nice.
Well done. Well done.
I try.
One of my favorite campaigns is the High Tier Battlefield campaign with gaining additional Plutons, Beitetsus, and Boulders from select high tier battlefields.
Yeah.
Heck yes.
So a lot of them are the easier high tier battlefields or the lower level ones, usually about the 15 merit point ones. So you have all the archangels, you have all the avatars, which does include Fenrir, Carbuncle, and Diablo. But then you have like all the mission based um, battlefields as well too. So the Return to Delphots, the Celestial Nexus, the Savage, Warrior's Path, Puppet in Peril, Legacy of Lost, and it goes on a little bit more, but it does not include any of the ones that are in Selbina or Shinryu. Those ones are not counted.
Good old Shinryu. Poor guy. He was getting so much attention for so long, and I don't think he has any friends anymore.
No. Somebody was saying that they were like theorizing that one of the things we were missing is that they have the procking system in the Shinryu high tier battlefield. And I was like, that doesn't make sense. But you know what? They could have thrown that in there because I feel like the drop rates in Shinryu are so much worse than the Lilith fight, and he costs so much more in order to go fight in general.
Yeah, but wouldn't somebody have stumbled onto it by now? Like just accidentally found it?
I mean, you would think, but no, I don't know. Because it could be similar to like using the specific red proc weapon skills, which nobody ever uses in a natural environment. And you
Yeah.
don't get the message either in that zone that says, hey, you need to proc him with this sort of thing. So I don't know. That's why I'm like a little hesitant on it, but I was like, it could potentially be a thing.
Yeah, but I still can't believe that somebody hasn't tried.
Yeah, I know what you
But
mean.
at the same time, he's also doing things quite constantly. So to find that exact window, you'd really have to be trying hard to be doing these.
When Shinryu first came out, it was difficult to try to get procs on him originally, because just like the Iron Giants, all of his actual auto attacks are considered job ability, so you can't proc during them. So it's like very tiny windows in order to get procs off, even on the original one. So it could potentially just be that people are having bad luck, or some other case that we just don't know if there's a hidden mechanic for him.
Yeah, it's always been kind of a mystery. I get that they're supposed to be hard to get and they've got that increasingly high drop rate, but I think it's a little overboard.
Yeah.
But if we are indeed missing something, then it all makes sense, and there wasn't master plan for everything as it was. Who knows?
I do
Whoa.
know during the AMA, one person did ask about if the drop rate was set correctly for Shinryu because of how hard it is to get really anything out of him in the first category. If you look on BG Wiki, and they said no, his drop rate is set accordingly. So it really made some of the other players think that there's some sort of mechanic that we're missing. Just like in the Lilith VD fight, you technically can fight her minions to have additional drops in her fight. So it makes you think, maybe there is something that we're missing.
Yeah, it seems kind of odd that, I mean, we've been talking about Shinryu's drop rate way longer than this spike flail thing. Sorry. And they addressed that pretty quickly, so it does make you think that there may be something going on with this Shinryu fight that we just aren't seeing. I don't know. It's a weird fight.
Yeah, so we can always try messing around sometime, trying different things. Maybe pulling up the proc list and just trying all the different procs, even the blue procs with the different timing, being like, okay, we don't want to bring this job, we should bring this job, so that way we have a more of a chance for these procs. But I don't know, it could be something strange like that.
If they made a voidwatch proc system, well, then nobody's doing it.
Voidwatch procs was awful. I hated Voidwatch procs.
Uh,
They were the worst. Like a Abyssio proc system made somewhat sense. The Voidwatch proc system was just throw every job at it and hope that you had all the procs for it. But onto
yeah.
the next part of this campaign, we have the Abjuration Dial campaign. This one I like for new and returning players because they have a chance of getting the abjurations from Esha Ruan for the higher level gear versus if they don't have a link shell or they don't have a group that they can go kill these mobs, at least they have a chance to be able to get it in a separate manner.
Yeah, I got my Adam and Hauberk for a lock style, so I was kind of happy with it. But most of the time, for a lot of players, it's not going to be that big of a deal. But like you said, for newer or returning players or people that really haven't done a lot in the Esha zones and stuff like that, or don't have a group to help with some of the newer things or the older things going on, it can be really helpful.
Yeah, I do want to put a little side note on it that your character does have to be at least 45 days old to be able to be eligible to get the abjuration dial keys. So if you don't see them popping up when you log in, don't panic. It just means your character might just be too new in order to get these dial keys.
Definitely time to panic.
So much panicking. And then for those people that are working on Relic, whether it be getting your actual Relic equipment or if you're working on getting currency to make a Relic weapon, the Dynamis Time campaign is going to be going on. So once you enter a zone, you get all the key items for the time extension. So that means you don't have to fight those time extension mobs. So if you've seen our procking system video up on YouTube, you will see that once you've gotten so many of those key items, you have a higher chance of doing the procking system, but this also allows for a higher drop rate of currency as well as getting relic.
Yeah, and there's also dynamis currency dropping um, from the additional or from the battlefields, right?
Yeah, so you have a chance of getting currency from the additional seal battlefield spoils campaign with those coupon ice seals that we were mentioning earlier. You also have a chance of getting dynamis currency in the macrocosmic orb campaign that's also going to be happening at the same time.
Interesting that they're putting so much focus on old dynamis currency. Wonder if there's something more to that. Dun dun dun. Epic
But speaking
foreshadowing.
foreshadowing, I don't know, maybe they'll be used for those prime weapons they keep bringing up. You never know. But you have the macrocosmic orb campaign that we just mentioned. You can get a variety of different drops from macrocosmic orb, and this is there's no difference in these drops doing very easy to very difficult. The only difference would be, the amount of chapters you get afterwards. But you could spam very easy and still get the same number of drops as doing very difficult from these mobs. So each time you kill a mob in one of these macrocosmic orbs, BCNMs, they have a chance of dropping loot. The loot can be Alexandrite, heavy metal plates, dynamis currency, like we mentioned, could be job cards from Omen. It's a bunch of different items. Certain macrocosmic orb BCNMs will have a priority of dropping one type of currency over another. So I definitely recommend feeling it out, seeing which ones give you the better outcome that you're looking for. I know, like, I did amphibian assault for a long time because it had a higher chance of dropping heavy metal plates at the time when I was doing it, and I was working on an Empyrean, so that was very nice to happen because there was no voidwatch campaign going on at the time I was doing that.
Yeah, there's all kinds of different events and things going on that just there's I don't know. There's just a lot going on and a lot of different things that you can do and a lot of different events to experience. So be ready for all these campaigns, take advantage of them, be involved, uh, kind of focus around what the campaigns are at the time, and you'll probably get moving in the correct direction to advance your characters just by following the campaigns.
Yeah, definitely keep a lookout on those every time. And even the login campaigns, even though we currently don't have information on what the June login campaign will be, see what's coming out each month for those login campaigns because sometimes they're really nice. There will be, let's say, the Abyssia NM drops are in the login campaigns, which they do occasionally. So if you are upgrading your Empyrean gear for the anticipation of Empyrean +2 coming out, that will help you to not have to go farm, let's say Glavoid or Chloris, which is the two most notorious ones for people disliking to go farm. You don't have to worry about getting them. You can just buy them with login points.
Yeah, they truly do try to help out every type of player from the hardcore to the casual to the newbie to the longtime player. Everybody's getting helped by the campaigns that they're doing. So be involved, get involved, find some people to play with, join a new group. I mean, drop in on the concierge, find a new link shell, even if it's not our link shell or our Discord or some kind of our community, anything like that, find one of these communities that's out there doing these things and being involved in the game, and it's going to be a fun time for you.
Yeah, or if you see either Carm and I just roaming around in the game, you can always just like tap us on the shoulder or send us a tell being like, hey, I really like watching your guys' podcast. I really would like a pearl if that's okay. Or, you don't even have to say the first part. You can just say, hey, I would like a pearl. What's the Discord information sort of thing.
Yes, you must kiss our ass before you are invited. That is our. We have a very long hazing initiation ritual in which you must tell us how great we are, worship upon the armies of Karm and the Church of Claire or something. I don't know.
Oh, the Church of Claire. Good.
The Church of
Good. I'm
Claire.
all of a sudden a religious thing. I'm gonna have a religious cult all of a sudden
I
following
mean,
us.
I've kind of always pictured you in the nun outfit, so
Oh, good. Good. I don't know why you picture that.
Sister Mary
Not
Claire.
Oh, why Mary? That sounds terrible.
It just was the first one that came to mind. I don't
Yeah.
really have much for it. It was on the
Okay.
spot. I didn't prepare this.
Also, I don't know if you guys are watching us on YouTube, you will see we have a new, I'm going to put air quotes, set for you guys to see. So hopefully you guys will enjoy that as well too. We'll be posting new thumbnails with episode information on it as well too. So hopefully that'll be able to help and you guys get to enjoy this. Hopefully I can get Carm to do more emotes this time.
I'm gonna see if I can change your name in Discord to Sister Ava Claire.
No, we are not doing that.
That's a good one.
Oh gosh, no.
I'm
Nope,
pretty
not doing that
excited
at all.
about this.
We are not changing anybody's name. We are leaving everybody's name the exact way it is.
New FFXI chat channel, Claire's Moment of Reflection Station.
Oh my gosh.
Claire's Confession. Yes.
Oh my goodness. We're not doing that at all.
Oh
We're
Lord.
not going that way. No.
We've
Oh,
gone down the rabbit hole. We need to come back.
so Carm, guess what Monday's going to be?
Monday.
Monday. And don't just tell me the date. Like,
Uh,
think in your brain what could potentially Monday be?
I'm gonna go with it's a Monday.
Oh, well, that doesn't help at all. So
A
on
good day
June
to have
6th,
lasagna.
I mean, every day's a good day to have lasagna, but that's a different story. So June 6th will be our third month of starting this podcast. And we're so excited because we're almost to 100 subscribers on YouTube. And we really want to do something big for the community in regards to our 100th subscriber. So you guys can either pop in the Discord, give suggestions on what you would like us to do. I know some people have mentioned they'd like us to do a live stream once we hit 100 subscribers. So definitely want to know if there's like a particular event you guys want us to stream, or if you just want to have us just sit on our little set here and just talk to you guys about what's going on or anything like that. Definitely willing to hear it all out.
Community AMA. Oh
Yes.
yeah.
On live stream. Also, our Twitch channel has hit the over 50 follower mark. So once we've hit the number of days and hours streamed, we'll be able to do the affiliation and then also have those fun emotes. I've been slowly throwing out some of the emotes for you guys to see on Twitter, but there have been some that I've kept back. So hopefully you guys can enjoy the surprise. Also been learning some animation in order to get those animation ones set up too. So excited.
Community Day AMA with Sister Ava Claire.
We are not continuing that. We already
Hi.
had to stop the gin gagger.
Oh no, that one hasn't gone away. I just haven't talked about it in a while. Which one do
We're
you
gonna have
like
new
better?
hashtags.
Sister Ava Claire or Claire Bear?
They're both terrible. I hate them both.
Equal opportunity. That's what you get from Claire XI.
Yeah, they're
It's
both
just
awful.
equal levels of hatred. But again, feel free to join our Discord. Feel free to join the YouTube. Feel free to catch us on Twitch. Ask questions. Be involved in the community. Jump in. We're trying to do weekly community nights. We're trying to do. I still want to get a Dynamis group started and just go and have fun in Divergence because I still do believe that Divergence has a higher purpose than what it currently can do. So I want to get involved and get people that are used to doing the content again. So get involved with people.
For sure. And again, for those that don't know, we are doing community night on Wednesday coming up here. We're going to be doing an Aeonic run. So you guys can check us out on twitch.tv/next level PC while we do our community night and see who shows up to do Aeonic runs.
Well, I hope
Oh,
everybody's excited for
Oh, and because the update is happening in the future from this podcast release, don't forget to check out Funkworks' monthly update streams over on twitch.tv/Funkworks. He will be streaming Thursday night, so that way you guys will be able to check out the update with him.
good old Funkworks. I'm so excited for I should be able to actually get to meet Funkworks here when we go to uh the Distant Worlds concert coming up in July. So anybody else who wants to meet up at Distant Worlds, let me know. But it's coming to Grand Rapids, Michigan. So I'm excited for the trip. Excited to meet somebody who's so influential in the game that has taken up many, many years and much time of my life.
I am sorry I won't be able to go see you, Carm. Real life
Yeah,
stuff
story of
happens.
my
I'm
life.
sorry. I know. You asked me so long ago to go hang out with you, and that didn't happen. I'm so sorry. Real life stuff gets in the way.
You know, you've got your clergy.
Oh my gosh. That's gonna be a new hashtag, and I'm gonna be so sad when I start seeing that pop up on Twitter and YouTube. I'm gonna be like, oh.
Cult clerics.
And it's gonna pop up in our Discord too, and I'm gonna be so sad about it. I know what you're gonna ask me to do next too. I'm gonna be really upset by it. I'm not gonna even mention it because I don't want to put it in your head.
Oh, it's too good. I'm kind of dying over here.
Goodness.
But yeah, this
Sadly,
is what this is about. Like just having fun, being involved in the game, talking about the game, and just advancing yourself within the game and enjoying the own experience that you have. There's just so much that you can do with it.
we like building with the community as well too, and understanding different mechanics and different ways to do things, so that way we can get everybody involved as well too, and not just stick like with blindfolders on that we're going. There's only one way to do this when there's definitely multiple ways to do any fight.
Yeah, there is no copy paste method that is the best to do for anything. It's all about what you have available, and what your skill level that you're working with is, because you can do a whole lot of things with different skill levels and different people and different job setups. And honestly, a person who understands their job to the fullest is much more useful than a person who's all decked out in the copy pasted gear set. So learn your jobs, learn what you're doing, learn about the game, take everything you're doing. I haven't done it in a while, but take everything you're doing to the next level and just raise that experience and raise your enjoyment in the game.
For sure, for sure. And you can always hit us up because we're usually willing to help out anybody as well too, regardless if you're a new, returning, or veteran player.
Yeah, but I hope everybody's excited for the June update. Hope everybody's having a good time in game. Like I said, I really have been enjoying all the people that have come into our community and been involved with us and kind of re-energized our enjoyment in the game. So thank you to all of the people that have been a part of our stuff.
Yes, thank you so much. And sadly, there wasn't a whole lot for this update, but hopefully this information will be able to help you guys out as well too. And like Carm was saying, we had so much fun on community night that we've decided to continue it. So check it out on Wednesday. We'll be doing Aeonics, and we hope to see everybody there and to see you in the next episode as well too. Have a wonderful night, everybody, or day, whatever time you're listening to this. Take care for now. Bye bye.
Stay classy.